Stephen Kelgard is a 20-year-old communications major, but he has already gone through something most people will never do in their life. At the age of 14, he lived with his family in Kenya for a year.
So my family went to Kenya to work with a ministry that helps rescue street boys. It started with my mom just wanting to get us all of her kids out of America and have perspective of a third world country. We lived for the full year while we were there, is in Kisumu, and we were able to live. They called it the compound, so it's like a gated area. It's got a guard on it 24/7. But it was a two-story house. It had like an apartment under it. With some other missionaries stayed, and then the apartment above is where my family of 10 stayed. I was 14 for the majority of that part. I would go out onto the streets and actually talk to the street boys. They have medical issues, if they need somewhere to stay, if they want to try and get back home to their families, to their parents, whatever it is. We tell them about Agape, tell them about the ministry that we have, and then if they want to come with us, then they can come with us. And me and a national named Bell would would walk the city just for hours, and just we'd find little groups. You know, there'd be two boys sitting over there, a boy in the gutter, or whatever it was, and we just kind of grab 10 or 15 of them. Some days we'd buy them like a little snack, but most days we just sit in a park and we read the Bible, pray with them, talk with them.
Looking back, two of his biggest memories are the poverty and violence that he saw on a daily basis. But he also cherishes the memories of getting to help the people that he did.
It was a blessing and a curse to see poverty up and close and personal. I can sit here and remember kids that, there's this one girl named Naomi who we found on a dump who was out there scrounging for bread to feed her family. She was 5 years old, and that was what she did. In Kenya, there's a lot more violence that happens just because it's more prevalent. Culture, it's really not a huge deal to people. So whereas I would see something and be like, oh my gosh, like that kid's getting beat right there, like literally with a pipe. And they're like, no, he stole something, so he deserves that. One thing I never got to see but is pretty prevalent in Kenya, used to be at least, was when they caught a thief, if he was an adult, some kids too even, they'd put him in tires, pour gasoline on the tires, and then just light him on fire. So stealing is very frowned upon in that culture just because people don't have very much, and so they respect each other's property pretty well. When I was alone, with a Bell, which was 70% of my time there, the good memories with that were always being able to help some street kids. One kid, so my first rescue off the street, we got to talking, and he came back with me to Agape, and it was great. It was a great time. I got to go see him almost every morning, and he would be dressed up in his little school uniform, and he'd be like, "What's up, Uncle Steve? How are you today? What are you going to do?" And so that was cool. Just being able to see, this kid's life transform because of this ministry that I had the opportunity to go work with. That really changed my life. Being able to actually see a kid walk up to him, say, "Hey, my name's Steve, what's your name?" And then have him come back to Agape with us and get new shoes and get a bed, have somewhere to sleep, have 3 meals a day. And the end goal is to get them back home so that they're with their family. Knowing that that is happening, that's a great memory for me too.